You're in a lot of movies this year. You're in Alice in Wonderland, and then you're in this.
Yeah.
How was it working with Tim Burton and Johnny Depp?
Great. Yeah, I'd worked with Johnny Depp a couple of times before, and I'd known him since I think 1983. Okay. So even before I worked with him the first time, I met him the first day after he got his very first job in Los Angeles as an actor. And Tim Burton I'd also known for many years before. I met him not too long after he had done Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. But I had not worked with him till working on Alice in Wonderland, and I had a great time. I mean, I'm very, very grateful and happy that I'm in the film, and happy that it's doing so well, and I'm grateful and happy to be in this film as well, in Hot Tub Time Machine.
So going from that role into your role in Hot Tub Time Machine as kind of like the bellman that keeps appearing, and everyone's just waiting for that moment. You know, it's like the suspense. The whole movie is like, it happened now?
That's right.
Did it already happen?
Yeah.
That was great. How do you compare those roles? Was it easier for you to be more of the funny guy or more of the serious guy?
Well, interestingly, on some level, I approached both of the parts I'm not going to say, I don't mean to say that I approach them in the same way, but there is often what I'll do in films is I'll look at scripts beforehand, and I'll make a lot of very specific decisions before I start shooting, and I'll kind of want to stick to those decisions and try to, during each take, improve on the specificity of what my decision was. Both of these films I didn't do that. I was more interested in fitting organically within what the process that was going on with Tim Burton's particular vision, and in this particular element with Steve Pink in Hot Tub Time Machine, he was very open to an improvisational, organic going into it. So in a certain way, those are the two films I did right after each other, although there was a separation of about 6 months. The characters are very different, but the way that I went about doing it was similar. But what the characters each want, Stain in Alice in Wonderland, The Knave of Hearts, really want certain things within the realm of the Red Queen, so I'm a very diplomatic character. This film, I feel like the Phil, the bellhop that I play, on some level it was very simple, really. It's not a complex character. This is a character that wants to have a good time, wants a nice life, and so that the element of the arm coming off is something that can make problems or not problems. I didn't want to make it only necessarily about that, but on the same level, it was a relatively simple dilemma for the characters. So in some ways, the simplicity of the choices of what were needed were the best way to approach it.
Okay, so going along with that, who is your favorite actor in the movie, this current movie, Hot Tub Time Machine, to work with, being the bellhop?
Who is my favorite actor to play off of, do you mean?
Yeah, to play off of, to kind of like, work off of.
Well, I really enjoyed working with everybody in the film, and I mean there were certain scenes that I had more involvement with certain characters than others. I didn't have as much dialogue with some of the characters as I did with the other characters, but genuinely all of the people that I worked with were funny people and nice people, and I really liked working with everybody in it. It was an enjoyable set to be on, and everybody was nice and funny.
Okay, so Back to the Future or Hot Tub Time Machine, which one do you prefer more, and which film did you have more fun doing?
Well, I mean, there's a 25-year separation of the films, and of course there are things that are reflected in Back to the Future in this film. Probably my career at this point in time is easier for me. When I was 20 when I shot Back to the Future, the way that I think about acting is different. The way I think about the business is different. I would say it's an easier time of my life for me. Something about being in your 20s when you're striving to kind of etch out what you're going to be at a later time. I think as people grow up in their 20s, that can be a more challenging time. When you're in your 30s or 40s, it's like you kind of like your persona or people knowing what you are kind of has been etched out, and it on some levels it becomes easier. So it was a very good thing for me to be in, and it's a very well regarded film. So I'm very glad I'm in that film. But yeah, it seems like a complete answer.
Right. Well, it was great meeting you. The movie was amazing. I'm looking forward to more work from you coming up in the future.
Oh, and you said you guys are from Chicago,
yes.
right? I've played in Chicago at the Music Box Theater.